I want to get back to the speech.
Yes, sir.
Because first of all, you said it was bland.
Bland.
And then you began to point out certain things that you loved about the speech. So...
Only one.
Well...
The one that was conciliatory. Every other thing were things we've always known. Oh, I have done this.
The question I was about to pose is, what exactly is the role of speeches?
Wow. Speeches.
Because there have been so many, as you rightly said, there have been so many since 1960.
Yes.
Perhaps many that we've even forgotten, and maybe some that we should actually keep in our minds, and we've forgotten, or maybe some we never got to read. What exactly are the role of speeches?
Speeches are meant to be motivational. Speeches are meant to spell out policies of government. I mean, especially in the position that Mr. President finds himself. Speeches are meant to direct the people, to actually spell out the real body language of Mr. President. Mr. President came on board not because the Northerners wanted him. He came on board because Nigerians wanted him. They needed him.
Did you get that from this speech?
I didn't really get that from the speech.
Not even the part that talked about change beginning with Nigerians.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what we've always known. That's what we've discussed here, that Nigeria, you know, some time ago I was here and I said, Nigerians should begin to moderate their expectation after this election. They should not assume that change will just happen. Nigerians should begin the change from their homes. Parents who no longer have time for their children. Parents who have delegated the training of their children to teachers who are probably not training their children well.
What about the part where politicians, the way they relate to the citizenry?
Oh, that is horrible. Look at the governor beating up a woman on the road. And the Human Rights Commission went to take his words in the State House. They went to visit him to hear his own side of the story. Those are areas where institutions have to be strengthened.
They should have invited him.
They should have invited him. You beat up a woman. The woman presented a petition at your office. Then you should bring him down there. This will not happen in the US or in any other democracy. You should invite him and he must come. If you go to his state house and you take tea, that is corruption. And that's where the issue of the definition of corruption and stealing. You know, former president, he burnt his fingers because he wanted to play the role of a lawyer. In actual fact, there's the definition of corruption and stealing in the criminal code. They are different. And what he meant to say, he could not pass it across like a lawyer would. Corruption entails a lot. Corruption is not, stealing is defined separately. When you take something that does not belong to you with an intention to deprive the owner of the ownership, that is stealing. But corruption can be, I mean, a sexual assault on a woman in the office. When a policeman takes bribe, the person taking the bribe should be dismissed for corruption. He's not stealing. He didn't take the money from you by force. The person who gave it must go to jail for influencing a public officer in a negative way. You know, those are the things. So, how can a whole Human Rights Commission now, I mean, adjourn the office to the office of a governor that is the person who is alleged to have trampled upon the human rights of a Nigerian? You begin to tell people, you begin to tell these so-called elected officials that, look, you are elected, we can remove you. But when they sit on their high horse and the man was proclaiming that, look, I just wanted, I can invoke my immunity and nobody can say anything about how can a man talk like that?
That raises more questions about this immunity.
The sort of
yes, immunity.
First of all, that the
institution,
those people in those positions.
Human Rights Commission should be very powerful.
So that just bring him back to, you know, change, because this conversation started from change in our homes, in our... Do you think that part of the speech is going to get very far with Nigerians?
Nothing. The speech has been made. I'm sure by weekends, everybody will forget what is
because one of the things I noticed yesterday, it's like it's increasing now. Last year it started, I saw quite a number of vehicles with flags. This year, I think the proportion I saw, I don't know about anybody else, you know, with flags also increased. So I want to believe that perhaps people are taking a little more interest in their country and maybe becoming a little more proud to, you know, be called Nigerian and are willing to show that off. But then you also have to ask how seriously it is that they take the president's Independence Day broadcast.
You see, it's no longer about speeches made by Mr. President, by governors, by whoever. One thing that we can say Nigeria has gotten right so far since 1960 will be the fact that we're still united, albeit, I mean, there's a lot of problems here and
which
there.
the president's been touched on.
Well, yes, we're still united. I mean, very, very, very loose relationship. The second one is political stability, transition, I mean, of power. You know, yes, it used to be military to civilian, now civilian to civilian. We've taken that away. But the greatest achievement of the Nigerian state is in terms of the citizenry, and we're beginning to appreciate the fact that we actually have some power. Now, that is what you see in people putting the flags on, saying this and saying that. Now we can talk back. We are beginning to appreciate that the government is the Nigerian situation is government and us against us. It is not PDP against APC fighting for the people. No. I mean, I don't see any difference between these two parties. I have never seen any. Now, some people said, oh, why are they, I mean, yes, change. There is change now. Saraki is before the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Yes, he's bringing his PDP antiques into government, and we must stop that. Now, when he cross-carpeted from PDP to APC, and automatically his governor became APC, he didn't bring any antiques. It is only when, he now sits in a position of power, and he can actually effect change, whether negative or positive. Oh, somebody felt, no, we have to do this. And let me tell Nigerians, anybody who cares to listen, it has happened severally. The trial will not make Nigerians laugh. It's a bargaining chip. You will see what will happen. And Mr. Abakuba was here. He said something similar. He didn't say it the way I would see it. You see, it's a bargaining chip. Somebody felt, look, the list of ministers is coming. This man will have so much power. Okay, let's hang something on his neck. And then right now they are talking. The powers that be are talking. Ultimately, oh yes, I've been seeing pictures. Yes, they are talking, and then by the time the thing comes, the list will be approved. So and then the action will be struck out.
So people need to just look beyond this smoke screen. Is that what you think it is?
Look, the only person that stands out in this whole setting is Mr. President.
And about that speech and the comment made by Tijani Yusuf of the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, he said, look, when the appointments came, it was clear that the North had a huge part, and he thinks, no, that shouldn't be.
It's wrong.
How do you see this speech addressing some of those issues?
That's what Markwe was, sorry, I digressed. That speech did not address all this. And what has come after has not addressed all that. Look, it's not about whether the man that has been appointed is from the North, East, South, or West. No. What I want is, you can, if you like, you can pick all your men from the Middle Belt, right? But let Nigerians see that, look, the people you have picked, they are political. They are not there to weather their primordial sentiments, to live in a state of nature that is me, my wife, and my children, me and my brethren, me and my kith and kin. No, you don't have to do that. So the speech did not, you have to be very specific.
But he was.
Sorry, Mark, but talking about specifics here now, some analysts have also said something about the economy, knowing full well that this is coming just a few days after the CBN had given a big warning that we just might be headed for a recession, that he didn't make any categorical comment or statement concerning the economy other than talking about the natural resources we have as a people.
In state of nature, you keep on talking. It's all about oil. It's about, people they're just interested. Look, the real Nigerians on the streets, the businessmen, the small businesses, they are crying. Businesses are folding up. People are being sacked. A lady called me yesterday. She had a baby. The husband just got sacked from a bank. They could not feed. Do you understand? On the streets, 2-3 days ago, I was in a cab, and we were stopped at the most unholy place you can imagine a policeman to be. It's not, I don't know what to call it, whether it's a corner street close or whatever.
What were they looking for?
Well, what were they looking for? Change. They wanted change. Now, yes, change. I mean, change from the pocket. They stopped us, and the one of them heavily drunk. I would have talked, but he had a very good AK-47. And he said, he didn't talk to me. He probably sense that this man is trouble. He just, you mean you didn't bring anything for us on this? Is it Salah or something? That what is it for us? And I said, what will he bring? This man is working. And he said, okay, I'm not talking to you. And the man, and after we left, and the man said, oh God, you know what is happening now? From 9 p.m., policemen will take their this thing truck and they go all these wet bars, not the Nigerian bar as in our own bar for lawyers. I mean the bars, they pick men, throw them inside, and you pay yourself with 5,000. And the IG will stay up there and tell them, oh no, the police is different.
So the change is yet to trickle down at that level. But I was looking at that part, you know, of the speech where he talked about unity, because you say that one of the best things that has happened for 55 years, that we've been able to stay together as a people, stay united. Yeah. But the president also lamented a lack of unity of purpose.
Well, there is unity, but there's no unity of purpose. That's why Masob is there. That's why the insurgents are there. They are fighting. That's why the southwestern people are saying no. The Fulfulde people, the Fulani people, they should send them out of our
Now, do you think that this is something that has to do with our laws? Would we need to do anything about laws for us to get unity of purpose?
Yes, and yes, because we have to begin to proffer solutions. The number one spot for Mr. President to start from is to reconsider the report of the, or what's it called now, National Conference. That was a conference where the good, the bad, and the ugly in the Nigerian society came together, quarreled. They judged and came up with a position paper. Short of, they did not approve confederacy, but they approved fiscal federalism. I think the issue of police, you know, local policing and all that, they were addressed. The issue of financing, when you make money in Lagos State, the money should be in Lagos State. I mean, when you collect tax, value-added tax on beer, which is haram in the north, you should not share that money in the north. So, you see, I think that report should be seriously considered, and the 8th Assembly should look at it properly and begin to make the right change in Nigeria.
Thank you very much indeed, John Oloyede, a legal practitioner, giving us his thoughts today on several things, but primarily about the president's speech. We'll be back in a moment, so just hang on.